now we are double live and recorded. Noah, it is so great to see you.
It's great to see you.
We haven't seen each other for many years. I mean, live, we haven't seen each other.
I know, but it doesn't feel like a long
I
time at
know,
all.
not at all. I don't know if you saw that I'm a little bit in a celebration mood right now because next year I'm celebrating 10 years of bridges of musical bridge building, and we did that together, and it absolutely doesn't feel like such a long time. And yeah,
No, not at all.
how are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm doing good. I love thinking about that experience that we shared, making that music together in your Bridges of Music. Is such a good time and so many amazing adventures that we had together.
It was short and very deep and very, very special. And
Yeah,
when I meet people all over the world and we start talking about music and the deeper sense of music, I always end up talking about our beautiful thing we did together in New York and Europe.
yeah. Something that was amazing about it is that you you reached out to me to get together and start making music. And as soon as we met and started playing together, it felt like there was already a lot of energy there
Yes.
in our musical relationship. It was
Yes.
like we've been playing together for a lifetime.
It was so effortless. I remember us
Yeah.
having rehearsal for the first concert, and I was sitting on the piano facing the wall, and you were behind me, so I couldn't see you during the rehearsal. But that was absolutely not a problem. I could close my eyes and I just felt you were there and you understood the music. And I also remember that at one point we said, "Ah, you know what? We do not really have to practice. Let's have a coffee." Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like there was a kind of psychic communication that we had around the music where it
Yeah.
was very, like you said, very effortless
Yeah.
and kind of telepathic,
Yes.
like about where the music should swell, where it should get more calm. All of that stuff happened very organically and very naturally. And a big part of that was your amazing compositions, like just so beautiful, all of your music, and how well you write for cello, also, you
Ah,
know. So,
I think I would say it exactly the other way around. I have the feeling you made my music so special and you gave it a soul and it came to life with in the way you felt it.
maybe I'm not going to argue with you, especially not live on Facebook. But
Okay.
I think it's hard to bring soul to anything where there's not soul already there. And your music has so much of it, and it's so authentic, you know, so powerful and very dramatic also.
Yeah,
A lot of possibilities for a duo to really go deep
deep.
into
Yeah,
that music.
yeah. It has changed a bit. I have changed a bit. Maybe now it is a
Really?
little bit, yeah. And I also was listening to the song you just published, and I also hear much more lighter energy in your music now too. We might have
Yeah,
changed,
that's
Noah. Yeah.
it's possible.
So tell me
It's
everything
been a
about
while.
what you're doing right now. I saw that you are bringing out a new album this month
Yeah,
or this
yeah.
Yeah, wow. Tell me everything about it.
Well, it's called Mobile Home, and it's about planet Earth, basically, like this idea that we're all sharing this one home,
Yeah,
and that we're all responsible for it and responsible for each other too. But I try to sing about it in a way that's light and fun.
yeah. It
So,
isn't, but yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah,
yeah, because otherwise I think it gets really heavy
yeah,
really quickly, like thinking about, oh my God, this is happening, that's happening. It's a lot. So I think we all kind of need some lightness
during the
right
darkness.
now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I'm trying to share some of that in the music.
When did you write this new album?
It's been developing over the past few years, and a lot of it, actually, most of it was written in Brooklyn
Okay,
before I moved
okay.
uh, up
Because you
to the
moved now
mountains.
up to the mountains.
Exactly.
I'm jealous. That's
Are
beautiful.
you?
Yeah, I love nature, as you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in Berlin? In
For now, yes. For now, still in Berlin, Prenzlauer Berg, but I will spend 4 months in Canada.
Wow.
Now you are jealous, right?
I am, exactly. Is that part of Banff that you're doing that? And I saw you were doing something up there, which
Yeah,
looked amazing.
it is not so far away from Canadian view. It's not so far away. It is in Edmonton, close to Edmonton.
Okay. And what's going on there?
Oh, that is a private decision. My fiance lives there, and we will spend much more time together in winter. That's all.
Wow. That
Yeah.
sounds fabulous.
I'm a little closer than I think to New York than now. A little bit.
You mean when you're in Canada?
To be honest, I don't know really if how far away is New York from Edmonton? Do you have an idea?
I don't know. We'll have to check, but you should
I
come and
think
visit.
I think you should come and visit, and I think we should meet in the middle and play a concert. Exactly in the middle.
Okay.
Game on?
That sounds great.
Cool.
I'm definitely game for that.
Cool. So you are now, since the pandemic, in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly.
And what is this doing to you and your music?
Well, it's very, very quiet here. You know, I woke up this morning and it was an interesting morning because there were coyotes who were barking
What is
in the
barking? I like
valley,
a dog.
like
Yeah.
yap, 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 which usually they don't do that in the daytime. So I don't know what was going on this morning, but that's like the only sound here.
Okay.
Birds and a lot of wild animals. There was a bear. I was cooking dinner one night here and I had the window open and a bear started scratching on the window
Okay. What kind of
because
bear do
I
you have there?
a big brown bear.
Brown bear. Oh, yeah.
You know, I think he smelled whatever I was cooking and he wanted to
Mhm.
come in and sit down with me.
Yeah, be careful with the bears.
Yes, I am. I don't feed them or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
very beautiful,
I
very
imagine
peaceful.
that if I imagine that a quiet environment can be beautiful for you as a musician, because then you really can listen to everything that is inside of you, and you're not so distracted.
That's true. I've been listening a lot inwardly, and meditating a lot here,
Yeah.
which has been amazing. And I love just practicing here, like sitting by myself and playing Bach, for
Oh,
example, solo Bach on the cello, and just knowing like there's nobody, I can't disturb the neighbors. It's like impossible.
was that an issue in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Okay. But I remember in your house there were so many artists, right?
Yeah, yeah. But still, you know, they had like downstairs, they had kids, and like, you know, you had to be careful how much music you made. Now, here, like, nobody can hear me. I'm just sitting here playing for the mountains. And you probably know that feeling from being up in Canada.
Yes, yes, I do. I need
Yeah,
that a lot because I think I'm a very introverted extrovert. I have my
right.
moments on stage, but or maybe the other way around. I always mess that up. But I need a lot of space with myself and emptiness, silence. And then I can go out there and be an artist on stage and entertain.
Yeah.
How's that for
Eh,
you?
Um, you know, it's funny right now because sometimes like I'm just very alone up here. And then I'll go into New York City to play a concert and I'll be in a room full of like hundreds of people all of a sudden.
Yeah. Okay.
And just that, I'm like, wow, you know, there are a lot of you all of a sudden right in front of me. And just that fact is kind of shocking, you know.
I know.
But I think there's something kind of cool about being someplace very quiet and being very much inside and then coming and sharing that
Hmm.
with people
Yeah.
in a concert like in New York City. You know, I'm guessing that that kind of communicates somehow
Yeah.
to the audience, even if you're not thinking about it. Like it, I'm sure it just comes out
Of
in
course. I
some
mean,
way.
I can sense your energy and that you're maybe a little bit more chilled than they are.
Maybe.
Maybe. I remember you very relaxed on stage always. I
Hmm.
yeah, I've really brought that home from New York. Your calm energy when before we went on stage. That was impressive for me because I had the feeling you are always Noah. You don't change. You don't have this now I'm an artist on stage personality and now I'm private again. You seem to be always the same person. And me until New York, absolutely not. For me it was this now I'm private and now I have to change and I have to go on stage and I somehow have to be someone else or the best version of myself or whatever. And that's stressful because then you always there's a chance to fail because you're not you or me, I'm then not me. So this I really learned from you, just to stay the way you are and share what you want to share. And I love that. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I have very, very clear memories of being backstage with you
Uh-huh.
in several different places, like at the B Flat Club in
B flat.
Berlin,
Oh yeah, the old
at
B flat
Cornelia Street in Manhattan. Like I remember it so clearly.
too, yeah.
And
And
you
we
know what
didn't
you're
know if people would show up. This I also remember. And
right,
then it was really nice. It was such a nice concert. Yeah.
totally, totally. And the B Flat was like packed.
the B flat, that was impressive because of our tour. I haven't had the time to do any publicity before. And it was, I don't know, I thought the universe will take care of this. We are busy, we can't do this now, but they have to hear Noah. So I just spread the news in my network, and people were really, oh, they loved that idea that someone from Brooklyn is coming. And it was beautiful. Some people are still telling me that this was the best concert ever. Which
Wow.
yeah.
That
Mhm. Yeah.
was a very alive kind of night.
Yes, it was.
It was
A
very
shitty
alive.
old grand piano. I don't know if you remember that. The
A little
tuner
bit, yeah.
arrived very, very late. We had to do the sound check while people were already arriving. I was
It's
very stressed.
always it's always something like that.
Yeah, it is, it is. But then, boom, it started, and the energy also with Maria, she was singing so beautiful, and it was
Yeah.
really a beautiful concert.
Yes, it
But
was.
the B flat is not there anymore. They have,
I saw that. I
yeah.
think I saw that on social media or something. That's
And
too bad.
Cornelia Street Cafe also doesn't exist anymore.
Also.
The world is changing. So we have to find new stages
Yeah.
now. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, one thing that's interesting to me is that when we found each other, we both had some shared interests outside of music
Yeah,
also, which was namely like there seemed to be kind of some kind of interest in spirituality
true.
that we both shared. And that was very interesting because we didn't really know that about each other until we met. And
No,
we,
not at all. I mean, I found you thanks to Google, which is because I
yeah,
really had to Google a cello player in New York. Nobody had an advice for me. So this is, but yeah, as we can see, the internet has lots of opportunities, and it's also a room. And you now here with me online, this feels like being in the same room for me. You are almost in my living room right now.
totally,
So yeah, I think it
totally.
was not by accident that we have met, and I love that we are still connected.
I love that too.
I
Why
had the
don't you tell me about what you're doing musically since you asked me?
Yeah, I'm right now in front of a calmer period. So for me, the winter time is not the most busy time in the year. So I love to spend a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 months now, more introverted. So this is the time
Mm,
I empty everything in my mind. I calm down. I have long walks. I reflect a lot. And then, when
well,
all this is clear and cleaner again, then I start getting new ideas and being active again. So, this is
mm,
my real winter now in front of me.
wow. It sounds beautiful to have a kind of cycle like that, that you know naturally you're going into these different phases. And
Yeah,
that seems to feed you in some way.
Yeah, I realized that for many years that often in winter, when many colleagues are super busy, I have this feeling of, oh no, I calm down. And my music was never a Christmas concert music, so I really never had so many concerts. And it yeah, it happens then. For example, New York was born, New York, coming to New York and meeting you and playing with you. This
Yeah.
dream was born in winter on a fireplace in Berlin for
Wow.
days I went there and I just was thinking and dreaming and listening deep inside. And then I had a white paper and I started writing down ideas how to make this happen, how to come to New York and play a concert there, how to finance this, all the whole story. I did it in December, this dreaming, and in September we had our concert there.
Well, it's so beautiful,
Yeah,
Beatrix.
yeah.
That's really beautiful. I think I need to do kind of some of the same,
Hmm.
like quieting down. Because right now I'm in this release period where it's all just about going out, out, out,
Yeah,
with the music, trying to reach as many people as possible, trying to share the music with the world. And in terms of creating new music, it doesn't really feel like those two things are compatible. It's like there's not that much new ideas happening inside. It's
yeah,
more like I'm thinking all the time about the radio, about social media, about all these different things, sharing the music. And I think when it's over, I want to try to do more of what you're talking about, which is like to come inside more, to get more quiet and listen inside,
yeah.
and then see what happens from that place
I
instead of
totally
trying to
agree.
force it.
Yeah, I
I
know.
really I appreciate that you shared that with me, because that's really giving me like a way forward.
I think I had to learn this because I'm a very active person and I sometimes force things too much. And when I was releasing my album this year, I couldn't stop. It was like a drug. And then I went on and went on. And I thought, okay, and now I have to compose a new album. And that's impossible. There was absolutely nothing inside. And a good friend of mine, she is very connected to these cycles. And she said, bringing out an album that is like giving birth to a how do you say, a musical child. And you are tired after that. And you cannot directly get a new child. You have to calm down. And that's really sorry, my admin just sent me something here, and I'm so absolutely not multitask.
Take your time. I'll just do a dance routine while you're checking that out.
It's okay. All is good. Okay, he just had a few questions. No, all is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So
Sorry, I didn't
how
see
is
you
Berlin
dancing.
feeling?
So what did you say?
How is Berlin feeling these days with the pandemic and everything?
Yeah, it's not so easy here right now. You can see that people are suffering and that many people have
Yeah,
fears and yeah, you really see and feel it. The energy here is a little insecure right now. So I think what you
mm-hmm.
said in the beginning is absolutely true. We have to feed the lighter feelings and spread hope and share connection. So, for example, when I teach, I've had students, private students here in the last years. I try not to give this sadness or these fears too much room and to let the music speak more because I think it's important that everybody has at least 45 minutes a week just to think about positive things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think New York is what you're describing about Berlin's. You could have just as equally have said that about New York City.
Yeah.
I was down there the past 2 weekends playing, and it has that same kind of uneasy feeling about it. Like, what's happening next?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and providing some kind of healing space for people with the music,
Yeah.
I think is so important.
Yeah.
Either like something that is very light and positive, or even just something very calming where people can rest,
Yes.
and kind of quiet their minds into the healing power of sound, which is so powerful. It's kind of a miraculous, magical power that sound has to help people. Kind of amazing.
Are you doing more in this direction?
I'm doing some of it. Like a week and a half ago, I played for this wonderful benefit for wild animals in India.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a great event that my friend Nina put on. And I started that program with like a big open cello kind of meditation with loops of cello. And it's just very open, very like not, it didn't have a direction, like it's going from here to there. And it was just open, kind of open space that I tried to provide for people. So yeah, some of the time at least, that's what I'm into. And
Beautiful.
it feels good to me when I'm
Uh,
doing it
yeah, I
too.
know this feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you when you're playing? Do you try to ever experiment with the space like that?
So sorry, I don't understand with the space.
Yeah, like a musical space that's just kind of open and not doesn't have a very strong structure to it. Sometimes just improvising, letting whatever comes out, kind of like a musical meditation.
Yes, I definitely do that. Yeah. I mostly don't let people know. So I include that into my concerts. For example, what I love to do is in the beginning of concerts, I help everybody who's there to arrive and to calm down. Because we all arrive there with all our thoughts and meeting people and being there together with hundreds of people. And then with my clarinet sound, I love to capture the attention, the feelings, and to calm down in the beginning. So I love calm introductions to concerts. And then
Wow,
there's often a beautiful energy field to develop whatever you want to develop, right?
exactly.
And I also
I
like to
could imagine
close
us
it like
doing
this.
something.
Sorry?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I also like closing the concert in the end. I don't
Mm,
want to say closing, but to do
yeah,
this in
closing.
yeah, in the end as well. Not ending with standing ovations. This is nice too in the middle, but in the end I like to calm down again and like a circle.
That's beautiful,
And
Bea.
you were about to say you can imagine?
Yeah, I could imagine creating something like that with cello and clarinet. That could be beautiful.
I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should experiment with that. Maybe when we meet at the border.
You mean in the middle, when we meet in the
Yeah,
middle
at
between.
the US-Canada border.
I definitely will check that out after our
In the
meeting.
middle of winter with our gloves on. That would be a great video, like by customs, border control. We're out there.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah, definitely. No, I
Yeah,
definitely would love to play together again. I have the feeling we are
me
also
too.
in a sort of circle. It felt great what we did. It felt absolutely natural not to do
Yeah,
it then. To you had your stuff, I had my stuff, and of course it's not so close between Berlin and
that is challenging.
but right now I have exactly the same feeling that I have had before I planned my first New York trip. I really
Wow,
feel this passion to do something together.
I love that. I think we should do it.
And the idea with what you just mentioned with the meditation, that could be a good
Not the
start.
outdoors at the border part, though.
And maybe
In the
not.
middle of winter.
Hmm.
What was that amazing club in East Berlin that we played at? It was it was more like a small theater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Grüner Salon.
Exactly.
Grüner Salon. I
That
don't
place was
know if
so
they
cool.
exist anymore, to be honest. I think they
It's
also
not there.
stopped. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm
We
starting
find
to
new
feel a
places.
little bit, yeah, I'm starting to feel like an old man. I'm like, what is that place we played back in?
Me too. I feel very old right now.
Oh, that's closed. That's not there anymore, Noah.
Oh
How
God.
about that place in New York? Oh, that closed a long time ago.
Stop being so funny. Oh man, oh man. No, don't stop. But I'm. Yeah, that's really funny. It sounds so hilarious. Can't wait to celebrate our 20-year
Exactly.
anniversary. Yeah, yeah. I always cry when I laugh in a good way.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I had some contact with Ricci today also, which was just kind of
By
by,
accident?
yeah, just the timing was by accident.
That is funny. You
And
have,
just so people know who that is, he is a beautiful instrument builder who makes carbon fiber instruments, amazing cellos, basses, violins, violas that are really incredible for travel because they're like indestructible and they sound amazing.
as
And
I
he,
know, yeah, I remember
yeah,
very well when we have met in
yeah,
Munich and tried them all.
yeah. And
It was a good experience, yeah.
you arranged that relationship. So he came and he brought cellos for us to try. And I wound up buying one and still playing it and loving it. And just today, I happened to have contact with him and been a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should talk to him.
Yeah, we can get him
Maybe.
on.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I love your
Yeah.
cello sound. I don't know anymore what concert you played with. Ah, yeah, our Europe tour was with the
Exactly.
that carbon, or it is not carbon, right? It is something special.
It's carbon fiber. It's a special kind of carbon fiber,
Yeah.
though. Like they make race cars out of that. Yeah,
No, it is an impressive sound. Very,
definitely.
very warm. This is what it was
Yeah.
so impressing for me.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love traveling to those little places we went to in Germany together.
Yeah,
Also,
Würzburg.
like,
Würzburg. Do you remember?
yeah, it was that like a small kind of medieval town.
Yes,
It was
but you
amazing
know
there.
what? Guess what?
It's still there. The town is still there.
The town is still there, but the venue
All
has,
right.
yeah.
Venue is the venue is closed.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Was that, didn't we play at some kind of architect's office too one time where they had that amazing space?
Yes, exactly. On a Fazioli grand piano. The
Is
biggest
that the place you're
piano I've
talking about
ever
in
played.
Würzburg?
Yeah.
Wow, Fazioli. Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah. That was really an adventure. And we also played in Penrith in UK, in this little village, so far away from everything.
At the castle?
Yeah, I enjoyed so much being
That
there.
was amazing.
Yeah. 3 days
Amazing.
of sunshine in England, almost
Yeah,
Scotland.
exactly. Exactly. It
Yeah.
was so beautiful there.
Hey, I think it's time to create new dreams and new memories. Usually, I'm not a person who's looking so much backwards. For me,
Hmm.
everything that happened is old, and I'm very thankful, and then I let it go. So I'm maybe more a person thinking in the about the future.
Right.
I
I
don't
see
like
that.
so much. I would prefer to be more here and now, of course. Um,
Me too. I don't really think about the past too much, but I'm actually getting a lot of joy out of thinking about our concerts. So,
Me too. That's
but
why I just mentioned that. Usually I
yeah,
don't, but realizing, wow, 10-year jubilee is a thing, and I don't want just to move on and not stop and honor it and celebrate it. And this
yeah,
year, I really enjoy looking back to so many English words, so many beautiful happenings like ours.
right, right. What other programs have you done with the Bridges of Music that you could share with me?
There was an interesting one.
Oh yeah.
I could share with you. I maybe shouldn't share with everybody, but I do it. Um, have I told you that I think 2 years later I was invited to Los Angeles?
I don't think so.
And it was to celebrate Berlin, LA, sister cities anniversary. They had 50 years and their 50th anniversary. And I was
Wow.
invited to play songs from my Bridges of Music program. And the idea was that I bring a musician. Please go on if you have to cough. It's okay. You cannot spread anything online.
That's true. No, I just swallowed my water, Bunny. I'm
Oh,
listening to you. I'm muting myself so you don't have to listen to
no,
coughing.
no, you can keep on.
Okay, go ahead. I think it's done.
So the idea was to play with a musician from Germany, me, and a musician from Russia who was living in Los Angeles, and we didn't know each other. And we had set up 2 rehearsals, and my wonderful colleague from Germany, I knew very well, and he was a super fantastic musician and a nice person. He and the cello player from Russia, they hate each other from the very first second. And the
Oh
idea
my
of this
God.
concert was peaceful music, music
Right.
as a language, connecting people with music. And I was just preparing coffee. We really just said, "Hi, Come, let's have a coffee together." And I was preparing coffee, and I heard both musicians scream at each other
What?
really loud, really.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I run into the room, what's going on here? And they really hated each other. And I don't want to go too deep into details, but I'm also sometimes very pragmatic. I knew we only have 3 hours here to prepare a
Yeah.
concert. This is obviously not working. So I separated them and said, okay, let's first practice the piano cello stuff as a duo. And we started practicing. And always when we played, it was beautiful. It was really beautiful music we could create. But in the moment we stopped playing, it was so difficult. So our human
Wow.
language, our brain, and all this didn't work. And in the end, we played a fantastic concert. But yeah, music was a language here, and it helped us. But we never ever played
Wow.
together.
Understandable. And that's really crazy. I don't see that happening too often. I
No,
do hear about it sometimes, but most of the time people find a way to get along together in a musical setting.
yeah,
Like even if they don't like each other.
yeah.
Like one of the things that I learned in school as a musician was to always be diplomatic. Like
Mhm.
they really drove that home. Like, for example, they taught us, it's a natural thing, like when you're rehearsing, to give feedback to your colleagues. Like, if you feel like something should be faster or slower, or they're playing with too many accents, let's say, they always taught us, say something nice first.
You learned that at Juliet's school?
Yeah,
Amazing. I
say
like
something nice first. Like, your sound is so beautiful, but could you try that maybe with less accents? And then the second thing they taught us was always try what your colleague wants to try.
that. Mhm.
Like, it can't hurt anyone to try it.
Yeah.
And I think those are you know, two really good lessons that I learned in school. Because, first of all, they work always in music. Like when you're working with somebody you don't know, for example, or you know them. And also, it works in life too.
Definitely. Yes, of course.
You know, I like that part about trying things. Like, let's try this. We've done it that way. Let's try something else. So smart.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, usually me too. I mostly meet people who are very sweet and nice, and even if not, you you don't show it. If you know, okay, you have now a job together, a concert, then you
Yeah,
step back a little bit, right? And yeah, in this
yeah.
case, it was a very interesting experience.
Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But good.
Sounds a little too interesting.
Yeah, sometimes I like intensity, but not always.
I don't know why, but this one guy is coming to mind, maybe because we're talking about Eastern European musicians. There was this amazing cellist named Vedran Smailovic, um, from the former Yugoslavia. And he was playing outdoors, playing solo Bach when the bombing was happening there. And he became very famous for doing that. And he was making this, anti-war statement with his cello. And it was very, very powerful. And he came to New York, and we he played a concert. I was on the concert also, but he was kind of the featured musician at St. John the Divine, which is, this beautiful, beautiful cathedral in New York. And before the concert, it was so funny. he was borrowing my cello because he didn't have like a great
Wow.
cello with him. And we were standing behind like the apse, I guess it is, in the back of the cathedral behind the altar. And he was smoking Marlboros
Okay. Happens.
in the church. I'll never forget that. It just so he was quite a character. I don't know why he's coming to mind, but another
Nothing
memory
happens
of
by
something.
accident.
That's
It's
true.
funny to sit here and to talk about the past. Yeah, I think it's time to create a new future.
Okay, I'm sorry. No more stories about the past.
No, 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 no. That's why I wanted to talk because I'm curious how it was for you during the pandemic afterwards.
Yeah. Well, getting out of New York City was really important to me.
Hmm.
Like, I was already wanting to do that, and so was my partner. And together, she and I were like, okay, this is the moment,
Yeah,
and so it kind of helped us to do something that we wanted to do for a long time. And I'm happy. And I'm not too far from the city. It's within 3 hours. So I can go for concerts and recordings and all that kind of stuff, which is
great.
really nice. And to see my parents
Yeah.
who are still in the city and
Okay.
who are like, we're never leaving.
That's good. A little
Yeah.
consistency. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but obviously it's changed everything. And it's been a period of a lot of reflection. There's been a lot of challenge just to look at how things are, and also not to be able to play concerts for such a long time because of COVID was so challenging,
Yeah.
you know, financially and mentally, just to be like, okay, what are we going to do? For musicians, it was a very difficult time, you know. And for me, that kind of just made me go inside more and look for something that is not changing so much, which I think is kind of where the spiritual life is.
Hmm.
It's like that's something that doesn't change. And the more that we can connect to that aspect of things, the better our experience tends to be. And that's kind of where I've been hanging out for the past couple of years. Yeah.
That sounds like you found a big chance in this crisis.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I think the challenge for everyone still remains. I think it's a critical period now for everyone. And I just I hope that people can find some kind of peace of mind that helps them, maybe by turning inwards a little bit and coming inside into some kind of peaceful, still place that helps them to cope with everything that's going on.
And
Yeah.
what would you advise younger musicians right now?
That's such a good question. I love that question. And I love thinking about younger musicians and teaching. And um, well, the one thing that I always tell younger musicians is that self-care is the one of the most important things that there is. And they don't really teach that too much in schools. And taking care of yourself, making sure that you sleep enough, that you eat really well, that you exercise, that you have quiet time. and that you have relationships that are really nourishing and healthy for you, it's so important, you know.
I love
I
that.
think,
I love that you mentioned that. Yeah, this is something I also see very strong. No, how do you say?
yeah,
When I'm doing many programs right now for other musicians and also students, and this is a little bit the essence that I find in everything. That's the most important part, that the music industry, or us as musicians in this industry, that we learn to live that lifestyle in a healthy way, that we do not go
exactly.
out anymore to reach a goal that is maybe not the biggest goal anymore, or yeah, that we do all
Yeah,
these beautiful things but in a way that is more healthy and not so crazy how it has been in the last 20 years.
exactly. I think also you're touching on something which is interesting, which is, what are your goals?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, and are those goals really going to make you a happy person?
Yeah.
You know, and I
Numbers.
think, what's that?
Numbers. I don't know. I know so many musicians who think in numbers. I need
Yeah,
200 concerts a year, then I'm a real musician, and only if.
exactly.
And I think the pandemic and also the crisis we are in right now, that brings a lot of chance to reflect about these things and to realize,
Yeah,
is this really my dream? If yes, I would say go for it. Do everything to, not everything, everything that is healthy to reach this
yeah,
goal. But most people realize I was chasing something for years without stopping, and now I realize, oh, this is not anymore my goal.
yeah, exactly. I think that's really true. It's really good to reflect on all of that. Yeah. I think kind of my feeling is that the more we can kind of concentrate on contributing, that really, if you make that the kind of frame around what you're doing, it changes everything. Like, if you really think, I'm here, I'm making music to contribute
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to people's lives in whatever shape that takes, but making contribution the core of what we're doing, then it becomes very satisfying,
I
because
love that. Yeah.
you start to notice very quickly that pretty much any time you show up and play or sing or, deliver a song, whatever it is, you are touching people,
Mm-hmm.
you are contributing, you are moving people. If you listen to what people say to you after you play, you pay attention, you will see very quickly that you are really changing people's lives in a very positive way. And if you can focus on that aspect, then you're achieving
Mm-hmm.
something very, very precious, and you get a lot of satisfaction from that. I'm sure you're already aware of this because your audience is so appreciative of
They
what
are.
you're sharing with them. I saw that immediately from the first time that I met your people. Like, they are so appreciative and they get so much out of what you offer them, you know.
Thank you, Noah. Yeah, you are
Yeah,
right. I love the audience I have, and I'm very thankful for them. Sometimes it's,
amazing people.
Exactly. And for so many years now. Yeah. And I'm sure there are so many who remember your concert here and they would love to see you again.
I'd love to see them again.
Do you have something to
Yeah.
share what you do right now that we can maybe put as a link underneath the video, or I can share it with my next newsletter?
Um, people could definitely visit my website,
Mhm.
noahhoffeld.com, because that kind of shows everything that's
Yeah.
going on. Yeah. Does that
Because,
work for you?
yeah, because you also do a variety of different things.
Yeah.
How is that for
Yeah.
you? That's a very personal question of mine because me too, I do so many different things and I
I know.
know that this is sometimes challenging to have different music directions. How is that for you?
Well, you know, it's it is challenging, but I also try to think of kind of like a wheel where basically I'm in the center and whatever's happening out at the sides is an expression of that thing. I try not to get too much into the kind of thoughts that sometimes occur, which is like, oh, I should be practicing cello more,
Yeah.
you know, or oh, I should be writing more songs, because somehow those kinds of thoughts never really are realistic.
Hmm.
It's like what's real is what's happening, and kind of just trying to get to a place of trusting that what is happening is what needs to happen. That is interesting to me. Like trying to get into that place where I'm actually trusting the process.
Hmm.
You know, it's not that easy to do, but when you get into that space, then it's really cool.
I totally get that. That's why I do all these things, and marketing experts are telling me, "Ooh, why don't you
Yeah.
focus?" Yeah, because we have many tastes and visions, and I
Yeah.
think,
Well, you have a lot of gifts.
yeah, you too, exactly. Yeah, and I think I don't, I prefer to do less good marketing, not to be so clear and clean in what I'm doing and have this variety because, like this, it's authentic.
Yeah. I mean, you're being you,
Yes.
and you don't really have a choice.
Also true. Yeah.
And it's so great, like to see you on stage playing piano, playing clarinet, having your compositions, all of those things. And, you know, that used to be more normal. It's just in our present society where everyone is supposed to just do one thing
Hmm.
that it seems like strange or whatever. But in the past, just like improvising used to be much more normal for classical musicians.
Yeah, true.
But right now, almost nobody.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So let's keep, how do you say, let's keep being diverse and
Yeah. Do you know Patti Smith?
yes.
She's like a hero because she is an amazing musician, a poet, a novelist, a photographer, you know, and like kind of this amazing public figure.
Mhm.
And she is, she refuses to just be one thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. That's a good example.
She's totally heroic. I love that.
Noah, I have to
Beatrix.
eat now.
Okay, yeah, it's
Late
late for
and but
you.
I love talking to you.
It's
If we
been
don't
great talking.
stop, I know it's then like our phone calls and 3 hours later. I,
Totally.
I have to eat now. It is, oh
Yeah,
wow,
you do
nine
that.
o'clock.
Wow,
We
you eat.
meet in the middle of Canada and New York,
Okay, very good.
and let's see what's coming out of this.
Keep me posted on your travels.
You too. You too.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you. Thank you
Great
so
pleasure
much.
to meet you. Have a
It was
beautiful
great for me. Thanks for setting this up.
bye.
Bye. Bon appetit.
Ciao.
Ciao.